District 3, Michelle Buetow, District 6, Marty, McLaren, and welcome, ladies. We appreciate you all being here. We have our first panel is all men, and we have mix in the second panel, and then we have all women on the third panel. So it's good to see you all, and I did note, and I will note again, that all the challengers for these races are here. None of the incumbents, for whatever reason, showed up. Now, I'm going to give them a couple of minutes to make a couple of comments, tell you who they are, why they're running. The interesting thing, as many of you know about the school board races, is that in the primary they run only in their district, and then in the general they run citywide. So these folks have made it through their district election, and now they are doing citywide. And so let's start with Sharon. Go ahead and start in and let us know who you are.
I'm Sharon Peaslee. I'm running against Peter Maier in District 1. And I'm the mother of 2 teens in Seattle Public Schools. One's at Ingram, the other's at Yale. I have a master's degree in education and 2 teaching credentials. I've been working on education issues for many years. I worked in the state level process to improve math standards that were adopted in 2008. I pushed for better math curricula in Lake Washington and Bellevue school districts. And most recently in Seattle, I wrote and managed the online petition to rehire Martin Flo as principal of Ingram High School. And I jumped into the school board race because I am deeply concerned that our district has been squandering way too much money and failing to meet the needs of way too many students. Public education has to support the success of all our students, not just half of them, not just the top half. Half of our students are failing our standardized tests, a third are dropping out. This makes it very clear that we are not meeting the needs of all of our students, and we must do that. I'm committed to supporting the learning needs of all students, to improving our curricula. We have math curricula at all levels that discriminate against disadvantaged learners. We have extreme inconsistencies in our language arts curricula, in our science curricula. We need to have consistently strong, flexible, and engaging curricula that teachers can use to teach all students. I'm very committed to supporting teachers in the classroom, and much of our money is wasted. We need to reverse our funding formula and fund from the classroom up. If we fund from the classroom up, we are spending, our spending priorities are focused on the classroom, providing teachers with the support, the teaching materials, and providing students with the support and the teaching materials they need to succeed. This will lead to cuts higher up around the administrative level, which is just fine, because in the last 2 years, while central administration was laying off teachers, guidance counselors, and instructional assistants for special needs students, they awarded themselves 113 salary increases. Now, the incumbents will tell you that central administration was cut by 1/3. Much of this was brought about by changes in accounting, by reclassification of jobs, by moving of jobs off of the central administration budget. So there's a bit of a shell game going on here.
Sharon, I need you to wrap it up.
And the bottom line is we need to devote our resources and our efforts to helping all of our students succeed, and that's where my commitment is by.
Kate and Michelle.
Hi, it's nice to be here tonight. My name's Kate Martin. I'm challenging Sherry Carr up in District 2, which is the great big donut around Green Lake. Just to introduce myself a little bit, I have 2 sons. One just graduated Seattle Public Schools in June, the other 2 years ago. I'm in a mixed race family. My husband is a Mexican immigrant. So I feel that I can very clearly help represent for what I like to call most students, which is average students who are completely underserved by what we're offering in the schools. I'd like to say a couple things about the achievement gap because I think that might be of interest to this group. So we're not going to close the achievement gap with the strategies that the school district has in place right now. This whole obsession with bubble test scores and the narrow curriculum is actually hurting the kids. The kids need to know a lot more than regurgitation of facts on language arts and math tests. I would say that actually the soft skills and their ability to be motivated and inspired, self-management, are all skills that are way more important than whether you make it to calculus. Those are the things that are going to help kids get ahead. So I'm looking at a three-legged stool. We help the kids with their academic skills. We help them recognize whatever their gifts are and their deficits, but not just in academics. We need to look at the emotional piece of it and the social skills piece of it. And I'm suggesting that the Families and Education Levy, since Tim talked so much about schools, I'd like to touch on that for a moment. I'm going to vote for the levy, but I'm also going to continue to put a lot of pressure on that levy because they're using a completely inappropriate test to judge the effectiveness of the Families and Education Levy. The math test is a terrible test that should be stopped immediately. It's a formative assessment. It was never designed to have any role in the things that grading teachers and deciding if programs are working with the Families and Education Levy. So you can count on me to be super police on the Families and Education Levy. What I'd like them to pay for, to just say quickly, I'd like them to get involved in mentors. I think we need K-12 mentors from the get-go to work with families as advocates so that families understand what needs to happen at home, what's going to happen at school, what's not going to happen at school. And every single kid needs a development plan of their own to unfold over their K-12 experience. I do believe the Families and Education Levy should buck up for that. It's the most effective thing they could do with the money, and I hope you're behind me on that. And I look forward to serving on the school board. I'm really psyched. I'm doing quite well. Getting excellent endorsements. I'm endorsed by the 36th and the 37th Legislative District, King County Democrats, Metropolitan Democratic Club, Nick Licata, Pete Holmes, and The Stranger, both education blogs. I'm ready. So I appreciate your support.
Thank you. Michelle.
Hi there, I'm Michelle Buetow, and I'm a mom of 2 kids living in Eastlake. I'm running for position number 3, which is the most oddly shaped of the Seattle school districts. That's Northeast Seattle, North Capitol Hill, Eastlake, Montlake, South Lake Union, and then on down into a big portion of downtown. And just for your background, the 4 seats that are up for re-election are basically north of the Ship Canal and then West Seattle. So why does that matter to you? Let me tell you a little bit about my kids' school. My kids go to TOPS, 6- and 8-year-old, and half of our school draws from the Southeast. It's a K-8 school. Why does it draw heavily from the Southeast? Because families don't feel like they can get an education in their own backyard that is what they want for their kids. And while I'm thrilled at the diversity in our school, I'm saddened by the fact that families feel like they need to put their kids on a bus for an hour still after